Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. Happy Thursday. It is time for the weekly news catch-up. Yes, this is where we run through all of the significant news that's happening on the Songbird and the Flare network. So if you are here to tune into the news, well, we're going to do a quick recap right now. But of course, we're going to start off with a quick update on the most accurate FTSO signal or data providers. Topping the chart this week is Envision, which is a fairly new one, I believe. We've got Solarius in second place, Ivy Oracle in third place here, and in fourth place we have Flare.space. Fifth and finally we have the Grungies. Shout out to Moradsky. That's the top providers this week so far into the epoch. Of course, the reward rate is very small because the epoch has actually only just begun, so do take note of that. And yes, we're jumping over to X Haven, formerly known as Sparkles. If you didn't get the memo, it has had a big rebrand, and this is what it's looking like these days. Topping the charts for the weekly, let me just quickly switch that over. We've got Focus Pass. Congratulations to them. They're actually the first NFT project to, I guess, topple the Blockbones projects in over 3 months. Every 7 days for the past, 4 months, all of this year. It's been number one, but Flare Pass, or the Focus Pass, is the first person to breach that top position. So congratulations to them, and we'll talk a little bit more about them in just a second. In second place, of course, we've got Blockbones. Third place, we have Mutant Flare Ape Serum. Fourth place, the Blockbones Traits. And in fifth place, Poodle and Friends. So congratulations to all them projects for reaching the top 5. Big news here from the Flare network team. 500,000 addresses are now holding FLR. This doesn't mean 500,000 individuals. Obviously, people have multiple wallets, but still, this is quite a significant milestone. 500,000 FLR wallets, and it is increasing by the day. So just bear that in mind. If you are staking your FLR, the rewards are claimable now. I believe it was claimable yesterday. So be sure to claim them, right? Just like delegation rewards, the FLR for staking does expire too. And if you leave them too long, you're sort of just leaving money on the table. So do bear that in mind. Claiming and compounding should be, I guess, regular habits. And of course, every time you are staking, you get to claim every 2 weeks, opposed to delegation where you can claim every 3.5 days. The Flare network's on-chain oracle, the FTSO, the Flare Time Series Oracle, is no joke. Data on the Flare network is free-flowing, allowing builders and developers to access high-integrity data at speed and for a negligible cost. This is what the future is. You know, a lot of people or a lot of other solutions, Oracle solutions, are actually very expensive, or they're very slow at the cost of centralization, but Flare seems to have done things differently. The Flare network has an on-chain Oracle, which means that any application or smart contracts deployed onto the network has access to all of this data, and it's very cheap. And of course, we know how decentralized the FTSO system is with, as we can see here, well, this is the validators. If we go to, oh no, this is the data provider, sorry. In this list alone, there's 73, but obviously there's going to be more and more as the network grows, which is very impressive in terms of a decentralization statistic. So moving on, Yes, I just wanted to echo this because I hear it all the time. People talking about F assets. I see G asking about news on F assets. Of course, if there was any news on F assets new, I would have been presenting them within this week's news. The last thing that we heard was the official announcement from Fleur that they're expecting to deploy F assets and open it up to the public this month. It's already deployed there actually, and it's going through private testing. And yeah, they should be opening it up to the community this month. That's the last news that we got. But I wanted to talk about F assets in general. F assets is the name of the bridging protocol, right? This is how you can bridge any assets from other networks in a decentralized manner. Decentralized meaning trustless, without having to rely on a third party. Now, some people say, is there S assets coming on Songbird? No, it's all F assets. F assets is the name of the protocol, but it's been deployed on different networks. First of all, it's already deployed on Koinly. Next up, after it's been fully tested, it's going to end up on Songbird. Then it's going to proceed onto Koinly 2, which is the test network for Fleur. And then finally, it's going to end up on Fleur. So that's the order. You may hear people say S assets, maybe just to differentiate between the F asset system on Songbird opposed to Fleur, but at the end of the day, it is all F assets. Just something to take note of there. Moving along, there's some breaking news here that I found out earlier in the week. We've got XAI Gate. It's a payment processor for people who are using maybe e-commerce stores. You're now actually able to accept FLR, which is, again, just another step into the realms of adoption. So welcome news here. Of course, any integration with FLR is only beneficial. And of course, we've actually got a new listing here, I believe, or maybe in a second. But first and foremost, we have the inclusion of Cosmos Hub into Fleur API portal. Again, this is one for the developers out there. If you are looking for data feeds on various networks, the Fleur API is a great place to start, and they've just recently integrated Cosmos Hub, in addition to the many dozens of assets now, I believe, that are already available for anyone that may want to get pricing data for these various networks. Yes, a new listing, as I did mention. This is on iCrypex. iCrypex, maybe? I guess that's how we pronounce it. It's just my guess anyway. This is one of the very popular Turkish exchanges. So great news there. Again, just adds to more liquidity and gets the name out there, more exposure for the Fleur network, which is of course beneficial for us. Moving on, a new tool from FTSO AU. They've created a Telegram bot, and this is the wallet checker. Just quickly read the description here. Discover your Songbird and Fleur wallet information effortlessly with our Telegram bot. Simply use intuitive commands to access balances, FTSO validator rewards, Fleur drops, and more, all in one convenient platform built by FTSO AU. And as many of you know, FTSO AU have built many tools for the Fleur community, and were one of the very first signal providers for the FTSO back in the day. So big love to them. So you may have been seen a big marketing push from Scepter recently, and they're sort of allowing or facilitating liquid staking on the Fleur network. They're partnered with Kinetic Markets. If you do have any questions about it, you can find them at Scepter LS over on X, and they're having a Q&A session on the 29th of April, so make sure that you get your questions in before then. And yeah, in fact, we've got some news from Kinetic here talking about their roadmap and when we can expect things to launch. As of now, we're taking on the track of, we're still on track, sorry, for the latter half of Q2 for the full launch of the lending protocol. We're working hard to deliver the best product we can, and sometimes this brings small delays. However, we have something very exciting to announce next week, so I'll be keeping my finger on the pulse here with Kinetic Markets to see what they're planning to announce. I'm not really sure what it could be, but I'm excited for it. And, we talk about, in fact, we talk about liquid staking, but I just wanted to, bring your attention to some of their media posts here. In particular, this diagram here, and talk a little bit about what liquid staking actually is. So liquid staking, it's facilitated by Scepter, and what they're doing is you're providing them with FLR, you're depositing your FLR with them, and in exchange, they're going to give you back an asset called SFLR. I don't know if that's Scepter FLR or staked FLR, whatever it may be. Scepter are handling all of the staking and rewards, all of this process for you for a small fee. And you can use this SFLR in any of the applications that support it. So we know that Kinetic is going to support it. I believe Enosis is as well. So you can use this SFLR as you wish, and you'll still be able to, when you want to receive them back, you can actually redeem them with the P-Chain staking rewards as well. And that includes the flare drop. So that's a bit of an overview. This is exactly how it works. This is the one that I wanted to show you, but it's the same thing. You've got your flare, you go through the Scepter stake, you get SFLR, you use it in your DeFi protocols, and then when you come to redeem it, you get your initial stake back, plus the flare drops, plus the staking rewards. Now, I did want to just highlight something here because liquid staking, very much welcomed and a fairly new concept in crypto. It allows people to use the proof of stake native asset, in our case it's FLR, and simultaneously utilize DeFi applications built on the network. Now, I want to, just draw your attention to what I like to call liquid delegating, because this is actually very unique to the Flare network. Being able to utilize the token while simultaneously earning rewards is what you can do with FLR, and you can't do this on any other proof of stake network, as far as I'm aware, without liquid staking. But without staking even involved, liquid delegating is a very novel concept. So we've got DeFi applications like Enosis, where they've integrated the various reward mechanisms, and that would be delegation rewards and the flare drop rewards, where you can hold your wrapped FLR and use that in DeFi, provide liquidity, all that good stuff, and you can still earn these rewards. So that's just something to think about, and shout out to Enosis for integrating that novel functionality into their platform. But saying that, the APY at the minute, the annual percentage yield on staking, is generally much higher than that of delegating. If I'm not mistaken, I don't quote me on this, but I believe there may be a almost like a lockup period of 2 weeks if you want to redeem your SFLR, where of course if you're holding WFLR, it's you're just holding it, there is no lockup period for that. So this is not about staking versus delegating, it's about the native power of the Flare network and highlighting the possibilities of being able to utilize and earn regardless of your staking or delegating intentions, right? Very powerful stuff, to be neglected from the flare drops and rewards just because you was participating in DeFi would be a very sad thing, but fortunately that is not the case with the Flare network. Moving on to, staying on the same vein as Enosis, the Enosis bridge has received a UI UX update ahead of the upcoming infrastructure updates. If you're wondering what these two letters mean, UI meaning user interface, UX meaning user experience. So they've had a bit of a rebrand of an update of their front end, what you see on the screen, right? The transaction flow is now better represented in the user interface, making it clear which step of the bridging process the user is performing. In addition, the fees displayed are now actively calculated for each bridge transaction and displayed correctly. So you can check that out if you like, bridge.enosis.global, and you can bridge over your Ethereum or USDT, that's Tether, and Quant to the Flare network. in preparation for when they ship everything. Seems like the hashtag of the year so far. I'm looking forward to this year because there's a lot of promises out there, and I'd like to see them all fulfilled. This is a mega thread from Banik, the CEO of Enosis. He said, one last product that I will touch on. This is a huge thread, but I think this would be, he talks a little bit about the bridge further up, but I think this is the most notable section of the thread for me. One last product that I will touch on is our new DEX. This is the version 3 concentrated liquidity DEX. We've been working for the entirety of 2024 on a pretty unique variation of the concentrated liquidity DEX, which would allow the providers of the active liquidity, so that meaning the range that is actively trading, where you're providing this concentrated liquidity, to be rewarded with multiple yield pools. Very interesting indeed. He goes on to say this means that liquidity providers of our decentralized exchange would be earning yield incentives, potentially in multiple currencies and ranges, delegation rewards native to the Flare network at a tiny fee compared to others, Flare drops. We've got the trading fees from people that are actively using the DEX, and users would need to do nothing, I guess, other than claim the rewards. That's right, the only thing you would need to do is provide the liquidity. A long-awaited feature would also be the ability to pay trading fees in HLN, which is Helion, and XFi, which is experimental finance based on the network where the trade occurs. In that case, liquidity providers would earn Helion or XFi respectively. So very interesting indeed. Jason asking when F assets, it's almost the end of April. They said at the end of April, and since the end of April has not come yet, we can only assume that it will be before the end of April, right? Another message here from Gnosis. Helion has now been listed on CoinMarketCap. So if you are tracking your portfolio via the CoinMarketCap app, you can now add Helion. Of course, you guys know what the chart looks like. I guess it's been pretty stable. This is just the day. If we go to the 7 week, it's ranging between 20 cents and 19 cents. Yeah, which is, I think it's pretty stable. Of course, you can be providing liquidity right there and earning rewards as well. I guess onto NFT kind of news, and this one's going on to a percent. A brief recap of our first 15 months of building. 10,000 strong community, 1,500 members, MVP launched, which is a minimal viable product, and the first access pass sale. So congratulations to anyone who got one of these first access passes. I believe that they did burn a large majority of them. Huge thanks to all those that made this journey possible. The next chapter is activating soon. Of course, I'm going to keep you updated with everything that's happening with a percent. Doc Bob D with a plus minus 2 weeks. It's an old running joke right there. As I said, Focus, they've dominating the charts with the NFT, their NFT, the Focus Pass, over the past week. So there's been a lot of questions about this, about the rewards and how they're calculated and when to stake them. They're going to be providing detailed information tomorrow. So I guess in next week's update, I'll give you all of the information about that. And it's really refreshing to see other projects really building something that's a little bit different, and I guess utilizing the reward mechanisms of the Flare network to give back to their community. And yeah, speaking of that, we're going to move on to Blockbones. This is a project that I've been working for a long time now, and I'm extremely excited to start this new chapter. So the Fusion Room, which is the most, or I guess the biggest milestone of the project, it's going live this weekend on Sunday, which allows the community to create their perfect NFT by fusing the traits they love. Of course, Blockbones is my project, and it's a way that these NFTs are represented dynamically, where you don't just get what you're given. The power of choice is actually in the hands of the owner. 28th of April. That is the date. Months of planning and development soon to come to fruition. And of course, there is a huge treasury that is going back to every single holder. I guess it's somewhere in the region of $300,000 worth of funds, which is going to go back to the holders of Blockbones NFTs. That's going to be through rarity-based rewards and also via the earn mechanism, which is redeemable for the assets, the native assets of the Blockbones project, BNZ, also known as Bones. This is an extremely rare opportunity. The rarest NFT on the Flare network's best-selling collection is currently up for auction. Blockbones is the best-selling collection of all time on the Flare network, and the rarest NFT, the holographic ultra rare Blockbones NFT, there's only 10 of these in the collection of 10,000, so that's a 0.1% chance of minting. It's actually currently on auction as we speak, and to put this into perspective, the only holographic NFT that sold was actually marked a record for the Flare network. It sold for almost 500,000 FLR. If you are interested, I think not many people have the funds to do this. It's getting pretty expensive, but the current bid is 250,000. Of course, opposed to the 500,000, it seems like quite a bargain, but that is pretty expensive. But in terms of the multiplier effect, you get a 45 rebate multiplier, which is, again, the best in the collection. If you are staking on the Flare network, then why not get the best rewards possible? I've partnered with Xtoads in collaboration with Blockbones, and of course you can earn many different rewards just from staking. So FLR is standard. As I'm sure you all know, you stake and you get FLR rewards. But in addition to that, if you stake with any of the Xtoads validators, you also get a weekly S-Ribbits airdrop. And this is to use in their upcoming DApp, which I believe is launching next month. I've heard a lot of people raving about this, the testers that have got a bit of a sneak peek. I'm yet to see it, but I'm excited nonetheless. You can also earn weekly or have an entry into the weekly Xtoad NFT raffle. I believe John D won one last week. Congratulations to him. And there's weekly 5 million S-Ribbit jackpot draw. And there's going to be 24 Blockbones NFTs up for grabs. This is going to be every week, increasing in rarity. So we're going to start with the zombies, and then the forests, and then the wood, the bones. I think it eventually goes up to the bronze NFTs, and this is for the next 24 months. So if you are planning to stake or staking already, please consider Xtoads. We are offering the most comprehensive rewards package to give back to those who support the project, and it's very much appreciated. Speaking of appreciation, of course, I've got to say a big shout out to the Patreon fam. I'm going to be releasing another Big Brain Moves in the next couple of weeks. The last edition, Big Brain Moves 3, was very successful, and it talked about the strategy of Enosis, how I was playing that personally, and things are about to change because there's a lot of things coming out. I want to talk a little bit and delve into what my plans are for the next couple of months ahead, how I'm utilizing my assets on the Flare network. And another little nugget of information is we're going to be giving some sort of reward for the Blockbones fam. Of course, initially I did, for the Patreon members, give a discount to anyone that was wanted to invest in Blockbones, and the initial mint price was actually 425 FLR for an unrevealed Blockbones NFT, and these actually sell right now for 5,000 plus FLR, so it's like an immediate 10 to 12x, which is pretty crazy. There's going to be some more discounts, just in my way of saying thank you. And of course, for the Patreon fam, it is the exclusive chat tonight. Next week, we will be back with the community chat. That's every Thursday, and the last Thursday of the week is just the Patreon chat only. And if you are wanting to join, you can head over to the Flare Community Discord channel, scroll right to the bottom here, and we'll be setting up shop in the Patreon call right there. Yeah, so that is pretty much it, guys. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That's the news for the week. Enjoy the weekend, and thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.